Okay, so what if I told you that the most important factor in selling a car today isn't your showroom, it's not the test drive, it's not even your own website? Seriously, the entire game of automotive marketing is being completely rewritten by artificial intelligence, and it's changing how people discover, research, and ultimately decide on their next car. So here's the big challenge that every single automotive brand is facing right now. The way customers find you has changed. That critical first impression? Yeah, it's probably not coming from your beautiful website or a shiny ad anymore. Instead, it's coming from what an algorithm decides to say about you. Let's just put this to the test for a second. Imagine you ask your AI assistant a really simple question. Who makes the best cars in the world? Now, you'd probably expect to hear those classic legendary names, right? You're thinking Ferrari, Rolls-Royce, brands that are just synonymous with luxury and peak engineering. But just look at the answer an AI like Google's Gemini spits out. It doesn't mention those aspirational brands at all. Instead, what do we see? Subaru and Lexus for reliability, Toyota and Volkswagen for their massive sales success. The big takeaway here is that the AI isn't prioritizing aspiration, it's prioritizing relevance. And this isn't some kind of glitch. This is the new reality. These algorithms, not just your carefully crafted website, are what's forming the very first impression of your brand. AI is basically the new gatekeeper. It's a filter, it's a curator, and it's becoming a trusted advisor for your next customer. Okay, so how do you even compete in this new AI-driven world? Well, you have to understand the new marketplace. The old rules for getting noticed are kind of getting thrown out the window, and there's a whole new kind of prime real estate up for grabs. Think of it like this. You walk into a grocery store, and the most valuable space is right there at eye level. That's where the big brands want to be. Well, in the digital world, that eye-level shelf is now the top recommendation from an AI. If your brand isn't getting recommended, you're on the bottom row, or maybe you're not even in the store at all. And this brings us to the new goal for every marketer out there: AI visibility. This isn't just about ranking for a few keywords anymore. It's about being the best, most relevant answer for what a customer actually needs, their intent. It's about answering their whole question, not just matching a couple of words. This is a massive shift from what we used to call search engine optimization, or SEO, to what experts are now calling Generative Engine Optimization, GEO. The goal is no longer just to be a blue link on a results page. Nope. The new goal is to be the trusted source that the AI actually cites in its answer. And as the folks on the ground are realizing, this isn't about picking one new strategy. It's about adapting your entire approach. Think of it this way. Traditional SEO is your foundation. Answer engine optimization helps structure your content, and GEO makes you the brand that's actually worthy of being cited by an AI. It's all connected. But what happens if you just ignore all this? Well, the cost of being invisible is very, very real. And the data shows this isn't some far-off future trend. It's happening right now, and the impact is, well, it's staggering. 1,200%. That is the insane increase in traffic coming from generative AI sources to retail websites in just the last year. This isn't a small shift. It's a tidal wave of new customer behavior, and it is completely reshaping the digital landscape. And this isn't just for small stuff. A whopping 87% of consumers say they're now more likely to use AI for big, complex decisions. I mean, think about it. What's a more complex purchase for most people than buying a car? They're actively asking AI for help with these huge life decisions. We're seeing this play out in real time. Just take a look at BMW's UK site. The number of keywords that trigger one of those AI-generated summaries, an AI overview, grew by an incredible 450% in less than a year. These AI answers are showing up everywhere. And here is where the danger becomes crystal clear. When one of those AI summaries shows up at the top of a search result, the average click-through rate for the #1 organic spot drops by almost 35%. Why? Because the AI is answering the question right there, so people don't even need to click your link anymore. This isn't just about losing website traffic. For an average dealership, this could translate directly into 60 lost sales every single month. Those are real customers being handed right over to your competitors. The ones who are showing up in the AI's answer. So how do you fight back? How do you make sure your brand is the one getting recommended? The good news is there's a playbook for this. It's not about guesswork. It's a systematic way to make your brand trustworthy and, frankly, understandable to AI systems. This playbook is built on 5 core things. You can almost think of these as the questions an AI is asking about you. Does it know exactly who you are and where you are? Is your inventory data clean and organized? Does your website actually answer questions the way a real person would ask them? Can it trust you based on your reviews? And is all of your information fresh and up to date? And here's how you actually put that into practice. It's a really clear process. First, you simulate thousands of questions a potential customer might ask an AI. Then, you analyze all the AI's responses to see where you show up, and more importantly, where you don't. You score your visibility against your competitors, and at the end, you get a clear roadmap of exactly what you need to fix to start winning. And you know what? This process works. In one case, an auto parts website went from getting just a few visits a month from AI to over 300 after they started optimizing. And here's the kicker. Those visitors were more engaged than their normal organic traffic. We're talking higher quality leads. Here's another really powerful example. Another automotive business, after optimizing their site for AI, went from being totally invisible in Google's AI overviews to showing up for over 1,400 different keywords. That's going from zero to hero. What's really powerful now is that specialized tools can actually track all of this for you. They can show you exactly how you're doing against your competition and give you a clear, prioritized action plan based on what your brand needs to work on most. Which brings us right back to the central challenge facing every single automotive brand today. The game has changed, and the stakes for being seen or for being invisible have honestly never been higher. Because in this new world, it's just not enough to have a great car or a beautiful website. If the AI engines that are guiding your customers can't understand who you are, what you're offering, and why you should be trusted, then for all practical purposes, you just don't exist. So I'll just leave you with this one critical question to think about. When that next customer, who's ready to make one of the biggest purchases of their year, asks their AI assistant for a recommendation, will your dealership be the answer?